Level 1. After months of planning, endless research, and pouring your life savings into a dream, you finally become an entrepreneur. Then it happens. Your first customer arrives. It might not seem like much to anyone else, but to you, that single customer is more than a sale. It's proof that your idea works. It's hope, ambition, and the first sign that your dream might actually survive. At this stage, 3 challenges will dominate your life. First, finding customers. Nobody knows your brand exists, and every sale feels like a battle. Second, managing cash flow. Money leaves your pocket much faster than it enters, and even small expenses can become major headaches. Third, wearing every hat yourself. Every task lands on your desk. There are no departments, no managers, and definitely no employees. You are the entire company. You're the CEO, CFO, marketing team, customer support representative, delivery driver, and occasionally the office janitor. And most importantly, you have to improve product quality, leaving little time to actually grow the business. There is no board of directors to rescue you and no corporate safety net waiting below. And here's the scary part. Your business and personal life are practically the same thing. If the company fails, the consequences don't stay in the office. Your savings, your car, your house, and even that coffee mug you've had for years could be at risk. But despite the pressure, this is also the most exciting stage of the journey, because every giant corporation started exactly here.
Level 2. Congratulations, your business has survived its most dangerous stage. You now have 100 customers. Some are even returning on their own. For the first time, the business feels real. You've officially entered the world of the small business. The biggest change is that your job starts to shift from doing everything yourself to managing people and processes. Instead of personally handling every task, you begin building systems that allow the business to run without your constant attention. A small team starts to form. Maybe it's a friend helping after work, a part-time employee, or your first full-time hire. You upgrade your equipment, rent a small office, and begin investing in growth. From the outside, it looks like success. Inside, however, a new kind of chaos emerges. Customers expect faster service, employees make mistakes, expenses rise. Communication becomes harder, problems that never existed before suddenly appear every day. At this stage, your biggest challenge is no longer getting customers, it's keeping up with them. You push yourself beyond your limits, working longer hours and carrying more responsibility than ever before. Because now, it's not just your future on the line. Your team is depending on you too, and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Level 3. Welcome to the medium enterprise. You are no longer running a small business. You are now managing a growing organization that has a life of its own. The one-room office has transformed into multi-room building. Departments have formed. Marketing, sales, operations, finance, each one with its own responsibilities and internal pressure. Meetings are no longer occasional. They are daily, structured, and often long. Managers now oversee teams, and information flows through layers instead of directly through you. Your brand is no longer unknown. Customers recognize it, expect it, trust it, and criticize it. Competitors start watching your every move, studying your pricing, your strategy, your mistakes. Operations expand beyond your city. Delivery trucks, logistics partners, and distribution channels move your products across regions. What once felt local is now becoming national. And your role has fundamentally changed. You are no longer involved in making the product or handling day-to-day tasks. Instead, your focus shifts toward decisions, strategic, financial, and directional choices that shape the entire company. Growth at this stage feels powerful. You can see momentum everywhere. Rising sales, expanding teams, and increasing recognition. But underneath that growth lies constant pressure. Systems begin to strain. Communication becomes complex. Maintaining quality across a larger scale becomes harder. What used to be quick fixes now require structured solution. And the most dangerous truth becomes clear. Scaling doesn't just multiply success, it multiplies problems too. At this level, you are not just building a business anymore. You are managing a machine that must keep running no matter how fast it grows. Level 4. When you reach 1 million customers, the business is no longer something you run in the traditional sense. It becomes something you steer. You are not a minivan anymore. You are a large corporation, a massive ship moving through an ocean of markets, competitors, and expectations.
At this stage, it is no longer possible for a small group of people to manage everything. The company is structured into layers of leadership. A board of directors sets long-term direction, executives translate vision into strategy, and entire departments handle execution across different regions and functions. You have logistics networks stretching across countries, warehouses, fleets, and supply chains working continuously in the background. Data systems powerful enough to track millions of transactions in real time. Infrastructure that once felt imaginary is now a daily necessity. Financially, the scale is almost unreal. The company can generate in a single day what it once took an entire year to earn in its early stages. But with that growth comes equally massive responsibility. Investors demand constant performance and transparency. Executives expect clarity and direction. Customers expect perfection. Any small failure is now visible at scale. Your brand is no longer just competing, it is being analyzed, criticized, and compared globally. Regulators watch your moves. Media reports your mistakes. Competitors study your strategy line by line. At this level, success is no longer defined by just having a good product, because many companies have good products. What separates survival from collapse is the system behind the product. The processes, the culture, the leadership structure, and the ability to maintain consistency at scale become your real foundation. And here is the hidden truth. The bigger the company becomes, the less it depends on individual effort, and the more it depends on whether the system can survive without breaking.
Level 5. The business now spans continents. You evolve into a conglomerate, an empire of multiple industries operating under one name. Skyscrapers carry your logo in global financial centers. Factories operate across countries, synchronized like a single system. Cargo ships, logistics networks, and supply chains move your products across oceans without pause. Millions of customers use your products every single day, often without even thinking about the company behind them. Your name is no longer just a brand, it is a global reference point. Governments know your company. Regulators monitor your moves. Competitors analyze your strategy in detail, trying to predict your next step. News channels break down your decisions as if they are global events. At this scale, a single announcement can shift entire markets. A product launch can influence stock prices. A policy change can ripple through industries. From a bedroom desk to a global empire. What once started with one customer has now become an organization that shapes the lives, habits, and economies of millions around the world. And with that scale comes a new reality: influence. Not just market influence, but structural influence. Your company begins to affect supply chains, employment patterns, and even national economic priorities. Governments engage with you not just as a business, but as a stakeholder in broader economic stability. At this level, power is no longer just about revenue. It is about reach. And reach, once it becomes global, starts to reshape the world around.